Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. 5 more twists are in the works for the autumn preview update. 5 more twists are reportedly in the works, according to our full preview update. This autumn, there will be some intriguing storyline twists, so let's discuss all the amazing announcements and important choices that lie ahead. 1. Claire's broken heart and intense desire. First of all, Haley Erin's character Claire Newman will experience turmoil over her romantic life. Claire still has feelings for Kyle Abbott, but she doubts they will ever be able to mend the trust he betrayed. Holden Novak, with whom Claire has been becoming closer, may soon be the object of Claire's temptation. It sounds like Claire will have to choose between Kyle and Holden for her future because she will be torn between two men who desire her. 2. New drama arises with Jill's homecoming. Then Jill Abbott will make a comeback and create a lot of commotion, particularly for Kane Ashby and Billy Abbott. Billy won't approve, at least not right away, because it appears that Jill and Kane may develop a closer alliance. But Jill and Billy can't stay apart indefinitely. Other unexpected turns in the road may ultimately help this mother and son become closer. 3. Audra and Nate's ultimate response on their future. Even though Nate Hastings and Audra Charles recently broke up, their relationship might not be permanent. According to Y&R teasers, Audra might try one last time for a second chance. Naturally, Nate may have certain requirements before he will even entertain the possibility of getting back together with Audra. Nate and Audra might meet together to acquire a definitive answer on their future because they will both need to make a significant decision. 4. The possible partnership between Victor and Jack. They'll do the unimaginable and genuinely think about working together with Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. In order to defeat Kane or any other adversary that might surface from the shadows, Jack and Victor might decide it's time to put their feud on pause. 5. The grand adventure of Nick and Sharon. At last, Sharon Newman and Nick Newman will be drawn into a brand new adventure. Nick and Sharon may become even closer as a result of their risky endeavor since there will be an odd message and a new mystery to solve. The autumn season on The Young and the Restless promises to be nothing short of electrifying, as 5 more shocking twists are in the works, according to the latest fall preview update. The leaves may be changing colors outside, but in Genoa City, hearts, alliances, and family ties are shifting in ways that no one could have predicted. Viewers are about to be swept into a whirlwind of passion, betrayal, secrets, and power plays that will shake the very foundation of this soap's legacy. From Claire Newman's battle between her wounded heart and her fiery desire, to Jill Abbott's explosive return, to Audra Charles and Nate Hastings weighing their futures, to the unthinkable partnership between Jack Abbott and Victor Newman, and finally, to Nick and Sharon embarking on a mystery-filled adventure, every twist feels like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. These stories don't just scratch the surface of drama. They dig deep into the complex psychology of characters who have already lived through decades of history, love, and heartbreak, reminding us once again why this show continues to grip fans generation after generation. Each storyline offers something unique: raw vulnerability, dangerous ambition, family warfare, and even a chance at redemption. But together, they weave a tapestry that will define the fall season and quite possibly reset the balance of power in Genoa City forever. First, the emotional chaos swirling around Claire Newman, Haley Erin, is setting the stage for a heart-wrenching, complicated love story that may leave fans divided. Claire, who has worked so hard to prove herself worthy of love and belonging after her troubled past, finds herself once again at a crossroads where her heart and her head are at war. On one hand, she cannot deny that Kyle Abbott, Michael Miller, still holds a piece of her soul. Their chemistry is undeniable, their history is unfinished, and the betrayal that tore them apart is still fresh in her mind. Kyle, despite his mistakes, hasn't fully let go of her either, and that magnetic pull continues to drag them back toward each other, no matter how much pain they've caused. But then there's Holden Novak, the new man who has slipped into her life at just the right moment. Holden represents stability, understanding, and a chance to start fresh with someone who doesn't carry the baggage of betrayal. He listens to her, sees her for who she is now rather than who she was, and offers her the kind of devotion Kyle may never truly manage to give. Claire will be torn in 2 directions, her past with Kyle and the hope of her future with Holden, and the decision will not come easily. Fans can expect sparks, emotional confrontations, and passionate moments as Claire's heartache becomes one of the most relatable and devastating arcs of the season. Will she follow the dangerous comfort of the familiar? Or will she leap into the unknown with Holden, risking everything for the possibility of genuine happiness? This triangle promises to dominate the autumn months and will leave viewers shouting at their screens as Claire makes her choice. Next, in a move that's bound to rattle the entire Abbott family and beyond, Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, is set to make her grand homecoming, and her return will ignite new drama in Genoa City like wildfire. Jill has always been a formidable force, a woman who knows how to stir the pot and unapologetically shake things up. This time, her presence is expected to shake Kane Ashby, Daniel Goddard, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, the most. Jill's bond with Kane may take a shocking turn towards something deeper, something that suggests a renewed alliance or even a surprising closeness that will not sit well with Billy. Billy, who has always had a complicated relationship with his mother, will immediately bristle at the idea of Jill aligning herself with Kane, a man who has hurt their family more than once. Sparks will fly as mother and son clash over loyalty, family legacy, and the dangers of trusting someone like Kane again. But Jill and Billy have a bond that can't stay fractured forever. Fans may see a dramatic falling out between them, only to be followed by a touching reconciliation that proves, once again, that even the most tumultuous of families can find their way back to love. Jill's return also hints at other ripple effects across Genoa City, potentially dragging in Catherine Chancellor's legacy, Chancellor Winters, and the ongoing power struggles that define this town. One thing is certain, Jill's presence will not be background noise. She will storm in with her usual fire, forcing everyone to pay attention and leaving chaos in her wake. Meanwhile, Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, and Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, are set to finally confront the question of their future together in a storyline that blends passion, ambition, and the painful lessons of past mistakes. After their recent breakup, it seemed as though their fiery romance had burned itself out, but the autumn preview suggests otherwise. Audra, never one to let go without a fight, may make one last bold attempt to win Nate back. She knows she's not an easy woman to love, her sharp edges and manipulative ways have cost her dearly, but she also knows that Nate has seen sides of her that few others have, and deep down, she believes they still belong together. Nate, on the other hand, is wary. He's been burned before, and his trust doesn't come cheap anymore. For him to even consider reuniting with Audra, she will need to meet his demands, perhaps in ways that will push her far out of her comfort zone. This push and pull between them is expected to lead to an emotional showdown where both will have to decide once and for all whether they are meant to be partners in love, in business, or not at all. Their choice could reshape alliances at Newman Media, Chancellor Winters, and beyond, reminding us that in Genoa City, love and ambition are often two sides of the same dangerous coin. Will Audra soften and prove her devotion, or will Nate decide that no matter how strong the spark, the fire is too destructive to reignite? Perhaps the most jaw-dropping twist of the autumn preview is the suggestion of a possible partnership between Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. For decades, these two titans of Genoa City have been locked in a bitter feud that has spanned businesses, families, and countless betrayals. The idea of them even considering working together seems laughable, and yet, desperate times may call for desperate measures. The fall preview hints that Jack and Victor may decide to temporarily put their differences aside in order to take down a mutual threat, perhaps Kane Ashby, who has been scheming his way into power, or perhaps an entirely new adversary waiting in the wings. Imagine the shockwaves this alliance would send through Genoa City. Their families, their companies, and their enemies alike would be forced to reckon with the unstoppable force of Victor and Jack standing on the same side, even if just for a moment. Of course, no one expects this partnership to last. Both men are too proud, too competitive, and too rooted in their history of animosity to truly coexist peacefully. But the very fact that they might try, even briefly, is enough to guarantee fireworks, double crosses, and some unforgettable scenes as two legends of the soap world reluctantly shake hands. Finally, the autumn preview teases a storyline that will warm the hearts of longtime fans. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, embarking on a brand new adventure together. For years, Nick and Sharon have circled each other in a never-ending dance of love, friendship, heartbreak, and reconciliation. Their history is rich and complicated, but there is no denying the enduring bond they share. This fall, that bond will be tested in unexpected ways as they are drawn into a mysterious new storyline involving an odd message and a puzzle that demands solving. Unlike the typical corporate wars or romantic entanglements, this plot will lean into suspense and intrigue, offering Nick and Sharon the chance to reconnect while also putting them in real danger. Their quest for answers could bring them closer than ever, reminding both of them, and the audience, why their love story remains one of the most iconic in soap opera history. Fans who have longed for a true reunion may finally see the groundwork being laid, as their partnership in mystery-solving reignites the passion and trust that has been missing for years. Will this adventure finally solidify them as endgame, or will new obstacles emerge to keep them apart once again? As these 5 twists unfold, one thing is abundantly clear: this autumn in Genoa City will not be quiet. Each storyline is layered with emotion, history, and high stakes, ensuring that fans will be glued to their screens. Claire must decide between 2 men who both represent pieces of her heart. Jill's return will stir the pot in ways only she can. Audra and Nate must answer whether they are stronger together or apart. Victor and Jack's alliance will shock everyone and raise the stakes in their never-ending rivalry. And Nick and Sharon will step into an adventure that could change everything. Together, these twists represent the very best of the young and the restless: romance, family, power struggles, and the thrill of the unexpected. This autumn, the stories won't just play out, they will explode, leaving fans gasping, cheering, and anxiously waiting for what comes next. The fall preview doesn't just hint at drama, it promises a season where every decision, every betrayal, and every unexpected alliance will leave long-lasting scars on Genoa City. As we peel back the layers of these 5 major twists, it becomes clear that they aren't isolated stories, but threads in a larger tapestry that will bind families, test loyalties, and set the stage for explosive confrontations well into the winter months. The autumn leaves might be falling, but for the Newmans, Abbotts, and everyone caught in their orbit, the stakes are rising higher than ever. Let's start once again with Claire Newman's broken heart and the storm brewing around her love life. At first glance, this may seem like a straightforward romantic triangle between Claire, Kyle Abbott, and Holden Novak, but soap fans know nothing is ever simple. Claire's past as a troubled young woman trying to earn forgiveness will play heavily into her decisions. For Kyle, his guilt over betraying Claire is only part of the story. Deep down, Kyle has always craved love and stability, but his inability to remain loyal has destroyed relationships before. Look no further than Summer. His pursuit of Claire could easily shift from heartfelt remorse to a desperate attempt at redemption, which might not sit well with viewers rooting for her to move forward. Enter Holden Novak, whose growing presence in Claire's life complicates everything. Unlike Kyle, Holden represents a clean slate, unburdened by Genoa City's toxic cycles of betrayal and revenge. Yet Holden himself may not be as squeaky clean as he appears. The fall preview teases temptation, but could Holden also be hiding secrets of his own? Imagine the gut punch if Claire finally chooses Holden, only to discover he's been manipulating her all along. This twist could force Claire into an even deeper spiral of self-doubt, making her story one of the most tragic and compelling arcs of the season. Beyond her romantic struggles, Claire's choice will ripple outward, affecting Summer, Harrison, Diane, and even Jack, since Kyle's romantic failures often destabilize the entire Abbott household. By season's end, Claire won't just be choosing between 2 men, she'll be choosing between who she once was and who she desperately wants to become. As if Claire's turmoil weren't enough, Jill Abbott's homecoming guarantees that family fireworks will explode this fall. Jill has never been one to tiptoe back into Genoa City quietly. When she returns with flair, fire, and an agenda. The teasers suggest Kane Ashby could find himself drawn into her orbit again, but this reunion is fraught with danger. Kane has burned bridges before, and aligning with Jill could either be his salvation or his ultimate downfall. Jill, however, thrives on calculated risks, and if she sees Kane as a way to exert power, she'll latch onto that opportunity with both hands. For Billy Abbott, this development is a nightmare. His relationship with Jill has always been rocky, and seeing her bond with a man he distrusts deeply will only widen that rift. Expect harsh words, tearful confrontations, and possibly a shocking ultimatum that forces Jill to choose between her son and her alliance with Kane. But Jill is never a woman to bow to ultimatums. She may instead double down, dragging Billy further into chaos. This family feud could spill into Chancellor Winters, where Lily Winters might have to pick a side. If Lily backs Billy, she risks alienating Jill. If she tolerates Kane, she risks alienating Billy. On top of that, Devon Hamilton may step in, seeing Jill's alliance with Kane as a threat to stability at Chancellor Winters. The ripple effect here is massive. Jill's return isn't just about family drama, it's about shifting power dynamics in business, relationships, and legacy. Fans can expect Jill's sharp tongue, unapologetic attitude, and fierce independence to make her a major player this autumn. Moving into the third twist, the lingering question of Audra Charles and Nate Hastings' future is another storyline that promises passion and heartbreak in equal measure. Their breakup might have seemed final, but Audra's refusal to walk away quietly adds fuel to this fire. She's not a woman who accepts rejection easily, and her determination to win Nate back could lead to bold moves that put both their careers and hearts on the line. But Nate isn't the same man he once was. He's been burned by Victoria, disillusioned by his own ambition, and scarred by the mistakes that cost him his reputation. For Nate, trust isn't just about love, it's about whether he believes Audra can truly change her ways. This dilemma creates fertile ground for an emotional roller coaster. Audra might attempt a grand gesture, perhaps sacrificing something of value to prove her loyalty, but will Nate see it as genuine or manipulative? Complicating matters further, Audra's professional life at Newman Media hangs in the balance. If she's too focused on Nate, she risks losing her grip on the corporate power she's fought so hard to obtain. Could she sacrifice love for ambition? Or is she willing to risk it all? Their decision will not only impact their romance but could shake up Newman Media, putting them in direct conflict with Victor, Nikki, and even Adam. And let's not forget Elena Dawson. Nate's past with her could resurface, throwing an entirely new wrench into the works. This fall, Audra and Nate's story won't just be about love, it'll be about survival, identity, and whether two people with jagged edges can ever truly fit together. Perhaps the most shocking twist of all is the unimaginable alliance between Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. For decades, their rivalry has been one of the bedrocks of The Young and the Restless, a feud as iconic as any in soap history. To even consider them working together is to defy the natural order of Genoa City itself. Yet the teasers suggest exactly that, a truce, however temporary, to combat a mutual enemy. The obvious suspect is Kane Ashby, who could position himself as a threat to both Newman Enterprises and Jabbo. But the beauty of this storyline lies in its unpredictability. Victor and Jack are both brilliant strategists, but neither is capable of true trust. Their partnership will be one of constant second-guessing, veiled threats, and subtle power plays, making it one of the juiciest storylines of the fall. Family reactions alone will be worth tuning in for. Nikki will likely bristle at Victor lowering himself to ally with Jack. Diane, already insecure in her marriage to Jack, will wonder what this alliance means for their future. And Adam Newman, who has long struggled to gain Victor's respect, may see this as yet another betrayal, igniting fresh father-son conflict. The fallout here will be enormous, and the longer Victor and Jack remain united, the more dangerous their eventual fallout will become. Soap fans know that alliances born of necessity rarely last, and when this one inevitably explodes, the collateral damage will be catastrophic. Finally, we have the fifth twist, Nick and Sharon's grand adventure, a storyline that harkens back to their glory days while giving fans something new to sink their teeth into. For too long, Nick and Sharon have existed on the periphery of each other's lives, their connection acknowledged but rarely explored. This fall, that changes. Drawn into a mysterious plot involving a strange message and an unfolding puzzle, Nick and Sharon will step into a storyline that combines danger, intrigue, and nostalgia. The beauty of this twist is that it's not just about romance, it's about partnership. Sharon, with her steady intelligence and resilience, paired with Nick's loyalty and strength, creates a duo that fans have adored for decades. Their adventure could bring them into contact with unlikely allies, perhaps Chancellor, whose background in law enforcement makes him a natural fit, or even Adam, whose own ties to Sharon are undeniable. The mystery they are solving may also tie into larger plots in Genoa City, creating opportunities for crossover drama with the Newmans, Abbotts, and beyond. Along the way, sparks will inevitably fly, reigniting the chemistry that has never truly faded. The question is whether this adventure will finally bring them back together as a couple, or whether it will remind them why they keep falling apart. Either way, the ride will be thrilling, emotional, and deeply satisfying for fans who have long waited for a true Nick and Sharon storyline. Taken together, these 5 twists aren't just individual stories. They are building blocks for a larger narrative tapestry that will define the fall season. Claire's romantic turmoil will tie into the Abbott family, Jill's return will reignite Chancellor Winter's drama, Audra and Nate's decision will shake Newman Media, Victor and Jack's alliance will shock the entire town, and Nick and Sharon's adventure will bring heart, suspense, and nostalgia. Every character, every family, and every business in Genoa City will feel the tremors of these developments. Autumn in Genoa City isn't just about change, it's about upheaval, and by the time the first snow falls, nothing will be the same again. What makes this particular fall preview so compelling is that none of these twists exist in isolation. They are each dominoes lined up in perfect sequence, ready to topple one after another. Claire's choice between Kyle and Holden could shatter Summer's world if Kyle tries to win Claire back, leading to fierce Abbott family infighting. Jill's homecoming doesn't just disrupt Kane and Billy, it has the potential to alter the entire balance of Chancellor Winters, with Devon and Lily inevitably pulled into her storm. Audra and Nate's indecision will bleed into Newman Media's corporate wars, where Victor may very well leverage their instability for his own advantage. That ties directly into the shocking Victor-Jack alliance, which could ultimately redraw Genoa City's power map. And just when the town thinks it understands the battleground, Nick and Sharon's mysterious adventure may uncover a truth so startling that it reverberates through every family. This autumn isn't just about plot twists, it's about tectonic shifts that will leave characters scrambling for footing. Old rivalries will reignite, new loves will be tested, and secrets will come crawling into the light. One thing is certain, Genoa City's fall forecast isn't crisp and calm, it's turbulent, fiery, and unforgettable.